Alright, so here's a review of the Meta Oakley's HSTN, and this could also be a review of the new Gen 2 Ray-Ban Metas that also just recently got announced, because if you look on the website, the specs are identical. You just get a choice between two different brands of sunglasses, whether you prefer Ray-Bans or Oakleys. Ironically though, they're all owned by the same parent company. They have a monopoly on the sunglasses industry. It's kind of sad, but anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about today. I'm here to talk about two aspects of this video. Actually, the glasses themselves. How are they? The design, the build, are they comfortable? And then after that, I'll get into all the tech, because I am more of a tech-based channel, but you will be wearing these on your face. So it's got to look good and it's got to be comfortable. And let's see how it tackles both of these. And the design is different. Apparently it's based off of their HSTN design. I am not the biggest sunglasses enthusiast, but then when I looked it up online, it does look a little bit different than what this is actually showing up as. So the first thing you might notice is, and I'll put it on my face, it's fairly thicker than most glasses are. And I'm not sure if this is just for aesthetic purposes. I'm thinking maybe because this is a tech product, there's components in there, wires, so it is thicker and commands more presence than other glasses do. It did take me some time to get used to it. Usually when I buy sunglasses, I go for something a little bit more understated, but these are kind of just out there. But anyway, coming back to the actual frame itself, it's very angular. They try to get away from using circular patterns, so it's using more lines than anything to present the shape, and I think it does a good job. I do like it overall. Like I said, at first I wasn't so sure. I did have to get used to it. You are getting the Oakley logo on the side, of course, and in typical Oakley fashion, it doesn't have the ear hooks. It's just one straight line. And when you put it on, at least my face, there is a lot of clamping force, a lot more than the Meta Ray-Ban glasses that I tried out before. And I'm thinking because Oakley and Meta has been advertising this as more of a sports style of glasses, so when you move your head around, it's not gonna fall out. I did feel like it was a little bit loose on the previous Ray-Bans, but these will not fall out at all, at least with my particular head size. So I actually do prefer that. And the clamping force was a little bit annoying the first few days that I got it. It was starting to actually cause a little bit of pain on the side of my head. But either the glasses themselves have loosened and stretched out a little bit to where the clamping force isn't as strong, or I just got used to it. Either way, it hasn't been bothering me, and I find this to be a very comfortable pair of sunglasses. I can wear these for hours, and many times I just forget that I'm wearing them, and especially since I chose to get the clear lenses with the transition lenses. And let me talk about that really quickly. I purposely chose this one because I'm using the camera on this a lot. I'm using the AI features. I'm using it as headphones, etc. So I want to be able to wear this indoors, but then also when I go outside, I want the benefit of sunglasses. So this time I made sure I chose the transition lenses. But I do have some things to talk about with the transition lenses. I didn't really know how transition lenses worked at first. I thought maybe there's like a button that you press or something, but no, apparently there's something in these glasses that when they sense UV rays, they will automatically turn on. You have no control over it. And because of that, it doesn't always turn on. So if you're in shade, but then you're still looking outside and it's sunny and bright, it won't transition. And if you're in a car, most cars' windshields block UV rays. So these don't transition when you're in a car. And on top of that, if you want transition lenses, you're not going to get polarized. I found that to be a bummer, but I'm not sure if that's just a limitation of transition lenses, but that's just the way it is. And this is the thing that bugs me the most, and I recently found this out after I got these glasses. Apparently, transition lenses are not as good as dedicated sunglasses themselves. So when you put them on, at first, I wasn't even sure if they were working. They were a little bit subtle, but then when I took the glasses on or off in a sunny environment, I was able to notice it. I do remember when I had the Ray-Ban Metas, those were polarized, and I found that to do a better job blocking sun from hitting my eyes. So at the end of the day, I still prefer transition lenses because I want to be able to wear these indoors without feeling like a creep. But I think that's just something worth mentioning if you weren't aware of that. And speaking of being a creep, when these transition to their darkest mode, when UV rays hits these lenses, it never completely blocks your eyes out, so people can still see your eyes. So if that's something that you're worried about, people will see where you're looking. These are just things I want to throw out there because I didn't know anything about that before I got these glasses. And another thing that bugged me, this particular model that I chose is clear, but when it transitions, there's a purple tint on it, and I found that to be distracting when I'm outside, and I didn't really like it. So the footage that you're seeing right now is exaggerating the effects. Yes, things do turn a little bit purple, but my camera is making it look a lot more extreme than it actually is. But for me personally, I'd rather just not have that. I will be exchanging these for the transparent ones that with the gray transitions. So again, something else to keep in mind. And I wish that just wasn't the case. But anyway, let's now start talking about the tech. And that's when I really fell in love with these, and these are just now a part of my everyday life. So first, it does come with this case, and this case is better than what was present in the Ray-Ban Metas. That one kind of had like a little flappy case. This one has nice strong magnets. It just seals shut. There's some metal contacts on the bridge of the glasses that just fit right in, and then it just starts charging. Really like this case. It is a bit bulky though, so that's just something to keep in mind. Thankfully, the batteries last about 8 hours. That's what Meta's claiming, and that's about what I've gotten. I would wear this for maybe the max an hour, hour and a half. Put this in the charging case and then pick it up maybe half an hour later, and then I never really run out of battery. And then at the end of the night, I just plug this in with the USB port, and I've never had to worry about battery life at all. So really happy about that. Something else that these offers, there are 2 speakers here, and apparently they are upgraded compared to the Gen 1 Ray-Ban Metas, and I would say they sound pretty adequate, perfect for spoken words, for receiving and taking phone calls, YouTube videos, podcasts. It is serviceable for music, but it is not great. There's just not a ton of detail. Obviously, there's not going to be a ton of bass, but it was one of those things where I was listening to music for like 45 minutes and I ended up just jamming out and getting into the groove of the music and forgetting that I'm just listening to half decent speakers or headphones on these sunglasses. So don't expect audiophile grade quality or even like AirPod grade quality. You're just not going to get that. But you don't have to carry around headphones with you. Everything is just right here. But here's something that I wasn't able to test out when I first got the Ray-Ban Metas when they came out, is the Meta AI, and man, it is so much better. So you just put the glasses on you and then you say, "Hey, M word," and it pops up. And here's just some of the stuff that I've asked my glasses, and that's one of the cool things, because this is just always on my face. I just say the wake word, "Hey, M," and then I can just ask whatever I want, and Meta usually does a pretty good job of answering questions. So similar to if you were using Google Gemini, if you're using an Android phone, or if you were to use ChatGPT, and I would say that Meta is definitely in 3rd place compared to Gemini and ChatGPT, but I mean, it's still a really good 3rd place though. So randomly, I'm just going on with my life. I went into PF Chang's and I was just wondering, what are the 5 spices in 5 Spice? And it told me I didn't have to pull out my phone. I didn't have to like go to my watch or do anything strange like that. It's just right here, always available, just so convenient. And that just goes for everything about these glasses. It just doesn't always get things right. I pulled out my Pixel 10 Pro XL and I just asked what phone this is. And it said that this is an iPhone, and I was like, "Can you look at this phone again?" Then had to confirm that, and then eventually it got it right. You can't always just trust AI, and Meta, I would say, out of all 3 services, has come up with the most incorrect answers a lot of the time. But when it does a good job, it does a good job. Meta made several mistakes. It could be very misleading, so I think as Meta gets better, if Zuckerberg is successful in taking away AI developers from OpenAI, apparently he's like trying to pay them like over $1 million each to leave OpenAI to join Meta. Let's see if that actually happens. And maybe in the future, Meta could be as good as the other guys, but it's not. But the biggest thing is having it right here on your face. And in addition to just having conversations with AI, Meta AI is able to interact with your phone, at least on Android, where you can make calls, you can message on your phone from. It just so happened as I was talking about that, I got a text message, so I just wanted to show a little bit of that interaction.
Saying, "Dan, what's going on?"
Hey Meta,
calling your phone. Tap and hold if you don't want to call. Okay, Cancelled.
So because this can interact with your phone, you can use it to call people in your contacts, send messages, and when they send you text messages, you could reply just using the sunglasses, and it works really good. Meta does a really good job of understanding you and transcribing what you want to say into text, and because these microphones are good, it's easy for it to understand. So that's been really cool. And next I want to talk about the camera, and this is one of the main reasons why I got it. Usually when I want to shoot hands-free POV content, I would usually have to take this camera. It's an Insta360. It works really well. It's called the Insta360 Go 3. But then I would have to put it on this hat and then just attach it here. And this always looks goofy. People always notice this, and I just never really feel natural on this. This has been replaced by just putting on these glasses. And the way it works by default, you press it once and it takes a picture. And if you press and hold it, then it starts the video, and you can set it up to go up to 3 minutes long. And the footage is only vertical, which sucks because most of my content that I make is the sideways style landscape type of videos. I guess the more traditional one. So, I don't know why they don't have an option. Probably because Meta owns Facebook and Instagram. And most people who consume videos on that platform is usually only looking at vertical content. But at least it's 3K now, so the quality is better than what it was before. You're not going to get great quality though. I mean, if you look at the quality here, it'll look good. In fact, I think it looks really good considering that it's such a tiny sensor. In low light, you're going to start to see some noise, but man, I just love the way the colors are presented. This is using a Qualcomm chip, and Qualcomm is very good at processing video. They've been doing it in Android phones for a long time. Well, maybe not this particular Google Pixel because they use their own chips, but 99% of all the Android phones out there is using a Qualcomm chip, and most of the video processing on Android phones is utilizing the Snapdragon chip. So they know what they're doing. The HDR looks great, man. So I went on a little staycation, and just the scenery is just beautiful here, and it did a really good job capturing it. For what this tiny sensor can do, it's really impressive. So now, in case you were wondering, whenever you start a video, a light turns on, and it's fairly obvious. People are going to be able to see if you're recording them. And if you try to block this light here, the video automatically shuts off. So you can't put duct tape on it, you can't cover it up, etc. So Meta is doing what they can to help protect people's privacy. And what I love the most about this, and this is not just for the video, but for everything else that I mentioned, and I was kind of alluding to that earlier, you can just really be present in the moment. You don't need to take out your phone to listen to some music or a podcast or take a picture or take a video. Yes, your phone will do a better job at those, but you can be fully immersed in the moment, you can be completely hands-free, and you can just get lost in whatever you're doing while still capturing the moment. So that's been my favorite thing about these. It's tech that just gets out of the way. It's just invisible. Many times I just forget that it's on, and whenever I need it, all I have to do is just say, "Hey Meta," and then I'm there.
It seems like you're in the middle of a story. Would you like me to continue it, or is there something else I can help you with?
There is one major con that I'm noticing, and I'm not sure if it's just unique to the Google Pixel 10 Pro, but using these glasses when it's connected to my phone destroys my battery. Every day it's using at least 17% of my total battery, and that is a lot. It's hard for me to determine who to place blame on when it comes to this. Is this the Pixel's fault? Is it Android's fault? Is it Meta's fault? I am going to be getting the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and I will be reviewing that, and I will be using those glasses with it, so I'll get more of an idea of what's really happening, and then eventually I want to review the Z Fold 7. So I'll be able to figure out soon what's causing the battery drain, and if it is Meta, hopefully there's a fix for it. But I know it ends up using a lot of the processing power of the phone to send my voice commands to Meta, and when you import photos and videos, the processing is actually happening on the phone, not on the glasses itself. So that could help drain some of the battery. And I know especially the Pixel doesn't have the strongest GPU, so maybe it's just working extra hard to process it, but I'll know more later on. If you guys have these glasses, please let me know in the comments, just so others can know if it's just me or if it's an issue. Because when you're going on a vacation and your glasses start to drain the battery of your phone, all of a sudden you might not want to use these glasses anymore because you're not always going to have access to a charger if you're visiting places, etc. So, and I think that's a big reason why some people might want to get these glasses. But yeah, I think that'll do it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks, bye.